Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to be looking at a Empire versus Bloody Hands matchup. And so this is I think a really fun battle here, so we're just going to hop right in. I take a slightly modified Empire build versus this guy's green skin build, and we'll go over it. And why I was just thinking about doing it, I don't know. I just kind of was pressured by time, and so I grabbed my other Empire build. And I kind of just didn't feel like having a mortar, so I took it out. And how I modified it was I have 5 swordsmen here as a core. I have 4 spearmen spread across. I have 2 swordsmen in the back, so that's a total of 7 swordsmen, 2 handgunners, a greatsword unit, and 2 Empire Knights, 1 on each side. I have the Amber Wizard here, and my Flying Death Squad and my Empire Captain to help. We started off with like 2 winds of magic in this battle, so it's going to be very hard for me to skirmish this out. Here he's got a main line of 3 black orcs, an orc biggin, and 2 orc boys. So his 2 orc boys on the flank, 2 hidden nasty skulkers, a big ol' hero blob here of 2 goblin big bosses on wolves, a night goblin war boss mounted on his squig, a night goblin shaman, and the rusty heirs right here, and of course the Ragnarok queen, the most beautiful woman in all of Warhammer. And all the way over here, hidden away, he's got more grubs, mangy marauders. So something to watch out for. Now I see this, and I'm instantly worried. This is not looking too good. He's got a huge killing squad here, and I'm not sure how well my swordsmen are going to hold up against such elite infantry, specifically the Black Orcs and the Biggins, but I'm going to cast Flock of Doom here, start getting some hit points off of everything. He's going to move it away, but I think it's going to end before it gets away. It stops going on this guy. Yeah, so at least 2 damage for most of it, and a little bit damage there, and so that's good damage right there on his core. I do see his nasty skulkers, and now I realize I can't land, because if he brings his nasty skulkers in and pops smoke bomb, my heroes are trapped, and I'm gone. So now I'm just kind of waiting, trying to figure out what to do. You can see here, I'm kind of making an anti-spider blob. So I have spearmen in front in case the Ragnarok spider charges straight through. I got swordsmen in the back to clean up any spawn spiders, and my handgunners in the middle of this wonderful sandwich to fight off the Ragnarok queen. And so he's going to keep advancing. I'm going to start moving my Empire Knights up, because I realize he doesn't have enough money here to have afforded cavalry as well. That's a big spend. So I'm going to move up my cavalry and move back my main line, mostly just to let my mana charge, because I had absolutely nothing. I started out with like, I don't know, probably 9. I probably started out with like 6 or something. And by the time I clicked there, it was 9, and I'm back to 0. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something brave, and I'm going to charge my Empire Knights right into the flank here of these nasty skulkers. Just trying to do some good damage, send them flying, and of course he pops smoke bomb. I try and pull out, of course it doesn't work, but now I'm going to bring in my heroes here. He does the smart thing, spawns spiders behind him. I'm going to bring in my heroes now that smoke bomb has been used, and try and just rout these nasty skulkers off the field, try and just deal some damage, and hopefully blob him up here for another Flock of Doom. Over here, he's moving his mangy marauders around the back. And you do have to be careful with these guys here, just because there's a lot going on elsewhere in the battle, and I'm going to be really sneaky and move my handgunners out here while I'm harassing with my main force. And so I'm just going to move 1 unit into range over here and start firing. It's going to be a huge loss here. Here I managed to sneak out with my Empire Knights, sneak out with my guys, but my Empire Captain is left behind in this blob. He doesn't have enough mass to get through. Here, nice juicy Flock of Doom. Gonna hit all 3 of these characters. As the Ragnarok Queen comes in, I realize I need to get my Empire Captain out of there, and I need to sacrifice something to do it. And guess what these Empire Knights are around for? Sacrificing. And so I'm going to give a nice charge here. Get some good damage on just everything in this blob, and that's going to let my Empire Captain slip away. Not too damaged, not as damaged as you would think, but my Empire Knights here are going to die. You can see here, I move up my handgunners. They're going to start firing in, start taking out these units that actually are pretty dangerous if they're firing into the back of my greatswords. So that is something to be concerned about. Here, what just happened here, ability-wise? I don't know, but I'm going to take this chance. There's not much going on here. I'm going to charge into these black orcs, try and do some damage. Because I don't really have much armor-piercing damage here, and my handgunners are going to be so preoccupied with the spiders that they're not going to be able to really do much. Here, I'm going to bring in my Empire Knights for a rear charge on these Night Goblin Archers. And try and pull out there. Would be ideal. So there you can see I route off his Morgrub's Mangy Marauders, and I'm running away from these spiders, though I'm not able to get away entirely. I am not taking that much damage. But I'm dealing good damage here on all his units. Black Orcs down to half, Orc Boys down. This kind of damage, though it is at the sacrifice of an Empire Knight. So who knows if I'm being cost effective here. But I really just, with his army build, I really didn't think I had a chance in a mainline engagement. So I'm taking all the piecemeal engagements that I can while I'm waiting for my mana to kind of grow. My winds of magic. So here I'm kind of keeping these Empire Knights. These ones came back. I'll bring them in later. We finally finished off the spiders. My handgunners are now ready to fire. Yeah, and I can't really avoid this engagement anymore. I must have done a misclick over here. My swordsmen leave my main line, which is silly. My Samurai War Priest is off. Not in the right spot, but that's perfectly fine for now. Here I'm going to try and get a quick charge in on these units over here, and then take off again, just to distract him so he can't raise his spiders as efficiently. But there is a lot going on, and I'm going to bring these guys in to help. You can see my opening volleys. I should get countercharges here, but I'm just not able to micro all of that at the same time. Here I get a charge, and my greatswords are going to come support this fight, as my hero blob kind of just drags this stuff away and tries to get its attention. Now that I realize he's kind of bogged down, I'm able to bring in these reserves, try and beef up my main line. But I am going to miss micro here and not charge both of my swordsmen in against these guys. Here I'm going to bring these guys in for a mainline charge against the Orc Boys, just to try and rout them to free up my these two units. And you can see here, immediately smash through my swords, but that's why I had the great swords in reserve. So that'll help while my Empire Knights are just sacrificing themselves here, fighting these biggins. That's a fight they're not going to like. But my hero squad is going to jump in here and try and deal some damage, while my Empire Knights get a nice rear charge. Oh, I guess into these Black Orcs, which is a good choice. They're not going to do too well, but they are going to get them eventually. So here you can see Flock of Doom again, trying to pull down this big tasty blob of multiple units. That's where Flock of Doom does best. I route these guys, and I'm routing. I routed the spider, routing the Black Orcs, and now it's kind of just this side, this flank, that is not going very well. I pulled these spearmen out to come try and help these guys, and this is not working out. I thought the swordsmen would kill them much faster than they actually are. You can see my Empire Knights over here route, my Empire Captain's routing, and his hero blob is smashing through the middle here. So I've won on this flank, but he's winning on this flank. I haven't cracked just yet, which is good, and I still have my Warrior Priest holding up the center, keeping morale up. I've turned this gunner, and I'm shooting at this spider that he's left. Just not microed, but it is in the cover of trees, so they're not going to do very well. And he's pulled his Orc Boys from this engagement into the sides of these swordsmen, but it's going to give me a perfect flanking shot here with my handgunners, and so that's, I'm trying to take up that firing position there. And I'm going to bring in my spearmen to just help hold this down, and I'm going to try and break these Black Orcs. But they do have a lot of buffs going on for them there. You can see his Goblin Hero Squad coming in and trying to deal some damage, but they really just don't have that much damage potential, even though there's 4 of them. My Empire Captain is coming back, and I'm going to bring him over here to the Nasty Skulkers to try and save that fight, while my heroes pull out, and they're just going to continue doing charges. You can see my handgunners here shooting into these Black Orcs. I'm going to bring my General in again. I'm just not leaving them anywhere too long. I'm going to bring my terror-causing Amber Wizard over here to help try and just rout these guys, while my handgunners reposition to a better spot. But you can see here, Itchy Nuisance completely decimating the attack ability of my poor troops. And my greatswords, you can see, are very, very low health. So he's got a hero blob here that I need to break. But I'm just really trying to break everything else. I don't want to engage my low health heroes in that fight just yet. But I see a spider coming back, so I'm going to bring all my heroes back and finish them off with a decisive charge, while my warrior priest holds the main line. So here, just not even going to let him get an attack, and there he's going to go, or she's going to go. Here I make a mistake, bringing my spearmen in front of my gunners. Bad idea. They need a clear firing angle. Try and clean up these Black Orcs. Here I'm charging into these Biggins. I didn't realize they were Biggins. I thought they were just Orc boys this entire battle, and so massively misjudged them. Definitely not playing that quite right. But just with 3 heroes here, they're not going to last very long. More Grubs Mangy Marauders coming back, and now it's just this hero blob. But I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. I have 2 handgunner units. I have my generals really high, but I still have 3 of these heroes, and I'm just going to charge right in and start tearing up some goblins. And I think it's just going to be the terror, yeah, or just broken there. But they're all going to rout here in the final seconds of the battle. You can see him on his wolf and his squig fighting to the last. Surprisingly brave goblins. And so that was I thought a really fun battle there. You can see great kills on these Black Orcs, even though I harassed them and did so much damage to them early on. Still did amazing. Black Orcs are a great unit. You can see good kills on this Nasty Skulker. I'm assuming that's the one I didn't kill in the beginning. Yeah, and the Biggins did pretty well, but that's mostly I fed them Empire Knights, not thinking they were Biggins. You can see he went cheap on the heroes here, especially the Night Goblin War Boss. Very cost-effective general there. Not too many kills on the spider, but I was able to kind of isolate it with a couple of volleys of my gunners and some greatswords and my heroes. And so that combination was able to take it down, even with all the other threats on the field. So let's look here. 47 kills on my Empire Knights, 59. Definitely, I think, worth it. Slowing down the enemy troops, hitting the Rustiers, hitting the Nasty Skulkers, allowing my heroes to get in charges. Definitely paid, I think, for themselves. You can see decent kills here on my handgunner, even though they were mostly focused on the spider, but I guess they were just killing little spiders. You can see mostly trash here on my Empire Knights. On my swordsmen. These 2 did pretty good. Good kills on 3 of my spearmen, but again, probably mostly spiders and orc boys, so not the hardest of targets. Yeah, my greatswords definitely not in the best spot going up against the spider, but they held their own there. My heroes, you can see, all did really good. 53, 63. My warrior priest, I don't really ever expect him to get kills. Anyway, so I was playing this battle with last night's leftovers, and I thought I won like pretty fair and square there. It was pretty close, like it was a Pyrrhic victory. I definitely had a lot of tools left on the field, but so did he. He still had his heroes, and a little bit of Black Orcs. But he said lucky, like not like, oh, the good game, like nice job, lucky. Like, ugh, how hard is it just to say, good game, that was awesome, thanks for the game, I don't know, whatever. I guess it's a personal gripe. But I really enjoyed fighting this army. definitely, I think, a competitive level army. I really like this build, and I might try it in the future. Um, I like the Night Goblin War Boss, though I don't usually bring him very much anymore. I should try him again. In my earlier videos, I bring him a lot, just so I can go expensive on the rest of my line. But yeah. Anyways, good game to my opponent, and that's that.